Reduce checkout friction. Small storefront tweaks that turn clicks into completed sales. Every extra tap between a click and a purchase is a follower talking themselves out of buying. Here's how to remove them. Most creators obsess over the top of the funnel. Better hooks, better posting times, better bio copy. And almost none of them audit the last 10 seconds before payment. That's a mistake, because that's where money actually gets lost. Someone taps your link from a Reels caption, lands on your product page, feels the impulse, and then hits a login wall. A redirect to a third-party cart, or a form asking for a phone number they don't want to type on a train. The impulse doesn't survive that. It doesn't matter how good your content was or how well priced your offer is. A clunky checkout throws away demand you already earned. This isn't a traffic problem. It's a plumbing problem, and it's fixable in an afternoon. Why the last 10 seconds decide everything. Impulse decays fast. A follower who just watched you demo a Notion template or heard you talk through a coaching win is in a decision window that closes quickly, usually inside a minute. Anything that interrupts that window resets it. That includes account creation screens, a redirect to a payment processor that looks unfamiliar, a spinner that takes 3 seconds too long, or a form with more fields than the product is worth. None of these things are dramatic on their own. Stacked together, they're the difference between a storefront that converts warm traffic and one that just collects page views. The fix isn't a redesign. It's a series of small, specific tweaks at the exact moments where buyers bail. Think of checkout as a pipe. Your job is to widen every narrow point, not to build a fancier pipe. Below is the checklist we'd run through with any creator serious about turning existing traffic into more completed sales, in the order that tends to move the needle fastest. Fix the payment method first. It's the widest narrow point. Payment method mismatch is the single biggest silent killer of checkout completion. A buyer who wants to pay with a saved card, Apple Pay, or PayPal, and instead gets funneled into typing a 16-digit number by hand will frequently just not. On Store.fan, you connect Stripe in one click or add a PayPal email, and from there, Apple Pay and Google Pay work automatically. No extra setup, no separate integration to configure per product. That matters because mobile buyers, who are the overwhelming majority for anyone selling through a link in a social bio, are exactly the audience most likely to abandon a manual card entry form. Removing that one step often does more for conversion than any copy change on the product page above it. The overlooked benefit. Because money goes straight to your own Stripe or PayPal account rather than sitting in a platform wallet, there's no separate withdrawal step for you either. Faster checkout for buyers, faster access to your own revenue for you. Cut custom fields down to what fulfillment actually requires. Custom checkout fields are useful. For a coaching call, you might genuinely need a phone number. For a live webinar, a time zone might matter. But they're one of the easiest features to overuse. The test that keeps you honest. Would fulfillment actually break without this answer? If you could deliver the ebook, unlock the course, or run the call without it, it doesn't belong at checkout. It belongs in a follow-up email once the sale is already done. A $19 pack asking for a company name and a drop-down about, "How did you hear about us?" is adding 2 fields worth of hesitation to a purchase that's supposed to be an impulse buy. You don't need to know everything about a buyer before they pay you. You need to know just enough to deliver. The rest can wait until they're already a customer. Make delivery instant, visible, and reassuring. Friction doesn't end when the card is charged. It ends when the buyer actually believes they got what they paid for. This is where a lot of DIY setups quietly fall apart. A buyer pays, waits for a manual email that might take hours, and spends that gap wondering if they got scammed. On Store.fan, the moment payment clears, the buyer gets a secure download link on screen immediately, plus a copy by email as backup. Course access and meeting links for coaching calls or webinars land the same way. automatically, with no manual step on your end. That combination, on-screen confirmation plus an email they can find later, is what actually kills buyers' remorse and support tickets in the same move. Because there's never a moment where they're not sure the purchase worked. This matters more than it sounds like it should. A visible, instant confirmation is doing conversion work retroactively. It's the thing that makes someone comfortable enough to buy from you again next month, or to buy the higher-priced offer after trying the cheap one. If your current setup involves you personally sending a Google Drive link within a day of purchase, you're not just adding delay, you're adding doubt, and doubt is exactly what a good checkout is supposed to eliminate. A 5-minute self-test. Buy your own product in an incognito window on your phone. Time it from tap to confirmation. If you hesitate anywhere, wondering whether a field is required, wondering if the payment actually went through, wondering where your download went, a stranger with far less trust in you will hesitate twice as hard and bail where you didn't. Connect Stripe, one click, or add your PayPal email so Apple Pay and Google Pay show up automatically. Open your own product on your phone in an incognito window and buy it. Time the whole flow, count every custom field per product, and cut anything fulfillment doesn't strictly need. Confirm the on-screen download link or course meeting access appears immediately after payment. Check that a delivery email also arrives as backup, not just the on-screen confirmation. Rerun this test anytime you launch a new product. Fields and settings drift over time. If a step feels slow or confusing to you as the owner, assume it's worse for a first-time buyer. Why this is worth doing before you chase more traffic. It's tempting to treat conversion problems as a traffic problem. Post more, chase a bigger audience, hope volume covers for a leaky checkout. That's backwards math. If your checkout is only converting 40% of buyers who reach it instead of 70%, doubling your traffic just doubles the number of people you're losing at the same broken step. Fixing the leak first means every traffic push you make afterward, a new reel, a better bio link, a fresh lead magnet, compounds instead of partially draining away. This is exactly why it's worth getting these fundamentals right when you first open your store.fan, rather than bolting them on after months of underperforming launches. It also compounds with everything else you're already doing on your storefront. A cover photo and theme from your store designer earn a first impression. A lean, fast checkout is what cashes that impression in. If you want to see what a low-friction setup looks like end-to-end rather than in the abstract, a live example store shows the whole flow from product page to instant delivery. And if you're comparing what's included at each tier, like whether custom fields or analytics come with a particular plan, the pricing page breaks down what's on the free plan versus the pro plan without any guesswork. Keep going. This is one piece of a bigger conversion picture. Pricing, product descriptions, store design, and email follow-up all interact with checkout. For more of this kind of concrete, checklist-style detail, the blog has more guides on turning existing traffic into more completed sales. None of these tweaks require a redesign, a developer, or a new platform. They require about 30 minutes. Connect one-click payments if you haven't, delete the fields that don't earn their place, and confirm your delivery flow feels instant and trustworthy from a buyer's seat rather than your own. Do that once, then make it part of your routine every time you launch something new. The creators quietly making the most money from a modest audience are rarely the ones with the cleverest marketing. They're the ones whose checkout simply gets out of the way. Key takeaways. Checkout friction is a silent tax on traffic you already paid for with content and time. Fixing it is pure upside. One-click Stripe and a PayPal email cover almost every buyer preference without building anything custom. Apple Pay and Google Pay remove the single biggest mobile checkout killer. Typing a card number on a phone, every optional custom field, is a fresh moment for a buyer to hesitate. Keep only what fulfillment truly requires: instant, automatic delivery confirmation, is what turns a nervous buyer into a repeat one. Start your creator store free at store.fan.